Another thing we often need to do is determine the distance from a point to a line. First of all, what does this mean? Well, there's lots of points on this line we can measure the distance to, but we see that this distance will be shortest when the vector from P to the point on the line is orthogonal to the line. So that's what we mean by the distance from the point to the line. We mean the shortest distance. Now suppose the line comes to us described via a point Q on the line and a vector V parallel to the line. Then we want to calculate the distance in terms of the components of these points and the vector V. So consider the vector from P to Q. Then we can see that the distance we're after is the length of Q minus P times sine of the angle theta between them. And we can relate that to something we know how to calculate. This is the magnitude of the cross product, Q minus P cross V, divided by the length of V. For example, say we're asked to find the distance from the point 1, 0, negative 1 to the line described by the given parametric equations. So first, we see that the point Q on the line is going to be negative 1 to 0. And the vector V that's parallel to the line is going to be 1, negative 1, 3. Now we need to take the cross product. Well, let's first find the vector Q minus P. This is going to be negative 2 to 1. Now we take the cross product of Q minus P cross V. So this will be I, J, K, negative 2 to 1, 1, negative 1, 3. So that becomes, let's see, 6. That'll be 7i negative 6 minus plus 7j. And then that's 2 minus 2. So it's just 7i plus 7j. So the distance from P to this line is going to be the magnitude of that cross product divided by the magnitude of V. So we found the magnitude of the cross product. That's going to be root 7 squared plus 7 squared is 7 root 2. And the magnitude of V, we can see will be square root 1 plus 1 plus 9, so square root 11. So the distance from P to the line is 7 root 2 over root 11. Or if you prefer, 14 over root 22. Next, say we're asked to find the distance from a point P going through a line, but now the line is given to us in terms of 2 points it passes through. So our first step will be to find the vector V. So V will be R minus Q, and that'll be 1, negative 1, 0. Now Q minus P is 1, 0, 2. And so we want to take the cross product of Q minus P and R minus Q, so that we've called V. So that'll give us 1, 0, 2, 1, negative 1, 0. And that becomes 2i plus 2j, and then that'll be minus k. So the magnitude of that is, so magnitude of Q minus P cross V we see is square root 2 squared plus 2 squared is root 9, so that's 3. And then we need to divide by the length, by the magnitude of v, and that's root 2. So the distance from P to the line is 3 over root 2.